Day one of our ERV install. Get the space cleared out for it right here. Gonna go pick up the unit and then start running duct work. All right, so we're coming along with the install now. Bringing the connections to the air handler around the back here. Got some pipe strap holding it up. This is gonna be our intake into the return here. This is gonna be our exhaust out of the return, taken off from down there. Temporary wiring hooked up just for testing. We'll go over that some more later. Making a mess, and we'll update you soon. These are the internal guts of the unit. So you can see right here, this core is where the energy transfer happens. So fresh air is brought in from outside and mixed with conditioned air from inside, just to avoid too much energy loss while we bring the fresh air into the house. Important thing to note, there are 2 filters. Those need to be cleaned out about every 6 months. All right, got the furnace side hooked up now. So the exhaust and the supply, both into the returns. And then let's connect here and go around the back. Next, we're gonna clean up the low voltage wiring and then get going on the air intake side of the ventilator. So in this case, we're wiring the unit into a infinity system. So looking down here at the low voltage wiring, you can see it goes into the corresponding color-coded terminals on the terminal block there. And then you just go ahead and turn off the internal control with that black button there. And then we'll go over to our zone panel. The zone panel is where we're gonna put the other end of those wires. You can see those going in right here. Y, R, G, and B. So it is separate from the ABCD communicating system that the condenser and the air handler and the thermostats use in the system. So if you don't have one of these infinity zone panels, you have to go ahead and use what's called an NIM. It's a little box that mounts separately to the unit and allows the ventilator to communicate. Fabricating the intake side now. So we have to go up and around the top. Okay, the intake manifold here is coming along. We have the exhaust outside, and we have the intake over there, coming up and around. These will go up. Gotta fish a intake and exhaust pipe through duct through one of these 3 joist bays here. So that's gonna be definitely challenging, but I think a lot of the hard part is done here. Pretty happy with how it's looking. Also ran high and low voltage electrical. The low voltage was a bit challenging to run. We've got a lot of low voltage wiring for this system. It all runs back this way and down into the zone panel, which is where the ventilator communicates with the rest of the infinity system. All right, so we have the some more progress on the intake and exhaust here. I'm gonna do a little bit more rigid duct before we hook it up to the flexible duct. Now, it's not ideal to do uninsulated duct for these ERV intakes and exhausts, but the space that we're working with here to get these ducts through for this retrofit is really, really tight. And this is our only option to do 4-inch uninsulated duct work. So not ideal for the lifespan of the unit, not ideal for condensation. Next part of the install is a little bit more challenging. We have to get the intake and exhaust ducts routed up through the ceiling. So we took this ceiling panel down for the part of the basement that's partially finished over here. And then it runs over the ceiling, over the top of this sauna here. And then up into this closet where it'll come out and go into our vent that'll get put right there. Using rigid duct for this, so just assembling it all now, foil taping all the connections. Keep you posted. Progress here, getting the exhaust and intake run. Back over here. Got the exhaust coming up here. Switches over to flex pipe just up over the top of this ledge here. Right there is going to be our intake. And then here, up in this joist bay here is where they're going to exhaust to the outside. This is the exhaust kit that we're planning on using. It's a concentric intake on the bottom, exhaust on the top. Pretty cool how it works. That way it's just one hole in the house and, you know, one filter screen to service. All right, so final connections made up here as well. We've got the flex running into the mechanical crawl here. And our connections are made up here. Try to do rigid duct as much as I can, but there was nothing we could do to get around using a little bit of flex in a couple of spots here. So yeah, getting the hole drilled through the house for the exhaust and intake. All right, get the hole drilled through the house. Quite a project. It's getting hot out. Either AC unit running yet though, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the concentric vent here put through, drilled in, then we'll make our connections on the inside. Okay, got the intake and exhaust all hooked up, sealed up now. Then just ran a pipe for the defrost drain as well. Running on low right now. Pretty good airflow coming out. All right, here's the finished job. All the ducts sealed up. The next step is going to be balancing the ERV. And I'll make a video on that. Should be coming out in the next couple of weeks. This is the air quality monitor for the system. It allows you to track the temperature, humidity, VOCs. You can see it changes color as the air quality gets worse, probably because I'm talking right next to it. Then on the infinity control, you can set fresh air profiles for heating and cooling. Set it to manual or set it to automatically track. And then you set a fresh air profile for each home, away, sleep, and vacation. That just about sums up the install for the ERV. Hopefully this video was helpful. Little overview of the mechanical room in here. Leave any questions in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks for watching.